What's up, you guys? It's Jonno! Welcome to another episode of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Today I want to show you how you can evolve Wyrdeer from Stantler, and I'm going to show you every single step along the way so you can get this Pokemon as early as you want in the game. Keep in mind that you can never ride a wild Wyrdeer. You can only ride your mount Pokemon. If you're very early in the game, that might be confusing. You might be thinking, hey, I just need to get a Wyrdeer and then I can run all over the place. Well, that's not true, unfortunately. But if you are looking for the mounted Wyrdeer, just progress the story a little bit and you will naturally get one through the course of the story. There's nothing you can do about that. But you do need to get Wyrdeer to complete your Pokedex and eventually catch Arceus, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I was actually doing that process just today, and I thought, you know what, I'll record a video and show anybody out there who wants to know how to do this the way to do it. First off, you're going to need to get a Stantler. You can do this as early as you want in the game. Obviously, I'm in the post game and I'm flying, but if you're not able to fly, you should be able to do this after you clear the first Kricketune boss, the first Alpha Kricketune that you played during the tutorial. Once you can get over the bridge and you can get up on top of this mountain, you should find a couple of wild Stantlers, and there's even an Alpha Stantler. So if you're looking for a real big Wyrdeer, go ahead and get this Alpha Stantler. But if you're in the early game, like I mentioned, it may be a little bit hard to get here, and it may be a little bit hard to defeat or catch this Alpha Stantler. So if you're having a hard time with the Alpha Stantler here, like I was, then you can go ahead and just forget about Alpha Stantler for now and come back to him later, and you can just run right down the hill and catch one of those very easy to catch Stantler that are running around down here. Now, one thing to note about Stantler is it's a very skittish Pokemon. It will run away from you, but there's an interesting characteristic of all Stantlers aside from the Alpha Stantler, and that is that you can throw a Pokeball at them even when they're targeting you with the red exclamation above their head, and you can still hit them with the Pokeball. And that's very convenient because sometimes Pokemon will target you with the red exclamation, and then after that you cannot throw a Pokeball at them. You must engage them or go through other processes to try to catch them, but Stantler is not like that. You can just go ahead and throw a Pokeball at Stantler anytime you feel like it, but watch out, because if it runs away from you 2 times, it will just disappear into the grass and it will be gone forever. So make sure that you save it if you have a shiny one in front of you. Alright, so now that we covered how to catch a Stantler, now let's cover how to evolve your Stantler into Wyrdeer. What you're going to need to do is use the move Psyshield Bash and Agile Style on that move, like I'm doing here, 20 times. It will take you a little while to do this. It took me about 10 minutes in total to get all 20 of them. Sometimes the move will miss, and that doesn't count from what I could tell. So if you do miss, you're just gonna have to do it again. Also, you're only gonna get to use the move 5 times, and then you're gonna have to go back to the camp and rest, and we'll show that here in a second as well. I do recommend to go against hostile Pokemon like Shinx or other Pokemon that you find that won't run away from you. I don't recommend to do Wurmple or Starly because they will simply run away from you and waste your time. Shinx is a good one because you can always knock it out. There's actually a bunch of Pokemon here on the map that won't run away from you. I'm assuming that you're going to do this in Obsidian Fieldlands. However, you don't have to do it in Obsidian Fieldlands, but I do like to come here because the Pokemon are nice and low level. They don't really give me a hard time, and I can always knock them out with one hit. So that's a pretty good feeling to just get through this as quickly as possible, which I know that's what you want to do. And as I mentioned before, you are going to have to go back to camp and rest. You should have to rest about 4 times to get through this. It may even be 5 times depending on the number of times that you miss your attacks. Don't worry about it too much. Like I said, it should take you about 10 minutes to run through this entire process. So just keep going back to camp and resting, and then go back and find more hostile Pokemon. I really do prefer to do Shinx because they are just so low level and they're very hostile, so they won't run away from you. You could also do Bidoof as well. Bidoof has an interesting characteristic where it will try to run away from you, and when it turns its back, you can get a nice easy back shot on it. It's not really that advantageous, but it could give you a little bit of an advantage and speed up your process just a little bit, especially if you miss your attack. And once you get done with all of those 20 Agile Style Psyshield Bash moves, say that 10 times fast, then you can go ahead and evolve your Wyrdeer. It should just show up on your Pokemon screen, so you can keep on checking it and see if it's available to evolve. And there you go, you guys, not too bad. I was able to evolve my Wyrdeer in about 10 minutes. It really wasn't hard at all. And that's the process. Now you can use your amazing Wyrdeer for all kinds of things like battling and collecting berries out of trees, and if you have a shiny one, you could even use it for flexing on your friends. Alright you guys, the last thing that I do want to note on this video is that if you're in the post game like me, and of course if you've downloaded the DLC, which I'm guessing most people have by now, then you do have the Massive Mass Outbreaks update, and you don't even need to evolve a Wyrdeer. You could actually catch one in the wild through the Massive Mass Outbreaks update. All you have to look for is a Massive Mass Outbreak of Stantler, and if it has a star on it, then it should turn into either Alpha Stantler, or if you're very lucky, it will turn into a Wyrdeer outbreak, and you get a ton of Wyrdeer spawning, and you could catch one of those and complete your Pokedex doing it that way, and you wouldn't even need to evolve one whatsoever. Obviously, that would be super convenient, but like I mentioned, if you're still in the early game, you don't have access to that feature, so you won't even be able to do that until way later in the game. And if you're in the early game just trying to get your very first Wyrdeer, this is definitely your best bet. Alright everybody, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my amazing subscribers, and peace!